Hello, thank you for joining me today in this immigration segment of Pace for Your Case. Today we're going to be talking about, and this is a really interesting subject, can you be a U.S. citizen without knowing it? Yes, I've seen it many times. In fact, it's happened to me, and I'll tell you one story. Many years ago in a consultation, I had a man enter my consultation room. He was a man, he was actually handicapped in a wheelchair, and he came to me looking for help because he was in removal proceedings based on a conviction that he had. And so ICE and the U.S. government was trying to deport him from the United States. And so, like we always do in a consultation, I explore to see what kind of defenses that we can do, whether usually I'm thinking, okay, can we do cancellation removal? Can we get you a green card? Asking him if he has a wife whose papers is a citizen or resident, children who are citizens, siblings. And I asked him about his parents. And he said, well, yeah, my father, he's a U.S. citizen. And we learned and discovered that his father was born in the United States well before my client was born. And, make a long story short, we looked at it, we looked at the law, and it looked like he was a U.S. citizen. So we had to get the evidence to support and show that. But I want to talk a little bit about U.S. citizenship. There's basically generally 4 to 5 ways. Everybody knows naturalization is really common. Once you have a certain amount of years as a resident, you can naturalize, become a U.S. citizen. There's also what we call derivative citizenship, where children of permanent residents, the children are under the age of 18, if they naturalize the parents, the children automatically can become derivative citizens as well. I'm not going to talk about it much in this segment. I'm going to save that for part 2. I have another segment dedicated on that subject, on derivative citizenship. We also know what we call legal terms jus soli, or right of the soil. So anybody born in the United States is automatically a U.S. citizen. That's common knowledge. And then there's what's called jus sanguinis, or right of blood. And that's what happened in this case with this consultation. He was citizenship through his parent, through the blood of his father. And to be able to show that, the laws, they're complicated and they change. It depends on what year you're born. And also depending what year you're born, depends on if your mother and your father were married at the time, if you're born in wedlock or out of wedlock. And then also we have to show certain evidence, like how long that parent who's a citizen lived inside of the country. Sometimes you have to show 5 years, sometimes you have to show 10 years of physical presence inside the United States. It varies depending on the year. And if it's born out of wedlock and if your father and he's a U.S. citizen, there's extra requirements to show what's called legitimization. You have to prove that, parentage. It can get very complicated. I like to call these cases actually the Genealogy Roadshow cases, if you're familiar with that PBS show, the Genealogy Roadshow, because there's a lot of genealogy work that goes involved in proving U.S. citizenship through blood or through a parent. If you are a person who's questioning your U.S. citizenship, you don't know if you're a U.S. citizen or not, but you had a father or a mother who was either born in the United States before you were born, or maybe they naturalized in the United States before you were born, or perhaps they naturalized before you turned 18 years of age, you might be a U.S. citizen without knowing it. Give me a call, the number down here. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Pace for Your Case. And thank you for joining us today.